Alright guys, this is the last video in the series. We're talking about food and water. We're getting rid of toxins in our homes. And I say food and water, but I actually mean water and food. We're going to start with the water because it's simpler. And then the food is far more complicated. There's just way more going on and way more to worry about. The problem with the water thing is it's really simple, mostly simple, but it's really expensive, or it tends to be more expensive than some of the other changes you're gonna make. They have a lot of options for changing things with the water in your home. You can do like a water filter in your kitchen, and they have these different options. But by the time it came down to it, it was like, you know, if you want to be healthy, not only in the water that you're drinking, but also the water that you're showering in and bathing in, and just using in general in your home, you're going to have a whole house filtration system. And it's expensive, and it's, you know, you'll have to save up for it, but it will cover all of the bases. And it's just one of those things where I'm realizing it's just an investment up front for a lot of these changes that have to be made to get rid of toxins in your home, which is hard, especially in the world that we live in right now. You know, we're not all just swimming around in extra cash that we can use to spend on those kinds of things. So it does have to be a very serious family decision that we're going to be changing these things, and it's going to be better for us, but we have to sacrifice that income or that, you know, extra spending money right now so that we can make that change. But yeah, specifically for water, you have to have the whole house filtration system. And in the Branch Basics course that you can do, the Toss the Toxins course, they go more in depth on that, more in depth on, you know, how it has affected people and the changes that they've seen as they've helped people get rid of those toxins. And especially with the water, there was an example of like a woman that was just struggling because for whatever reason, she couldn't figure out what it was, and they'd gotten rid of a lot of things. But then they realized that she liked taking baths a lot, and she would take baths at night and it would just affect her in certain ways. And so they finally dealt with that problem, with the water problem, and she was fine and she felt tons better. And it's just stories like that where you're like, wow, how much are all of these affecting me? And I just like write it off as like, well, I just don't like taking showers, or, you know, I've never liked taking baths. I've always hated taking baths. And I kind of just thought maybe it was like I always took baths when I was sick, and so I just associated it with being sick. But now I wonder, it's like, did I just hate baths because I just felt gross in that water for the time that I was spending in it? And I don't know, maybe not, but you know, when you hear stories like that, it makes you wonder. Secondly, food. Okay, they talk about some of the obvious things like going organic and avoiding pesticides and fungicides and all those things. And that seems to make sense. But they tell you like all of these bad things that can happen to you or that have been associated with non-organic food, and how changing your diet can get rid of all of these symptoms. And you're looking at the symptoms and it's like, I mean, I feel like that regularly, so great. Same thing with GMO foods. I didn't really know anything about GMO foods. I didn't know that, you know, you could be buying stuff at the store that didn't say that it was GMO, and you just wouldn't even know. One of the funniest things that I think I learned over the course of this is you're going through this list of like the healthy organic foods that you can trust because they're like most organic, least pesticides that you can kind of trust, and then the ones that are the worst. And then you have lists of like some of the most GMO foods and, you know, some of the best ones that are non-GMO. And at the top of the list of the organic foods was like pineapple or something. They had like the least amount of pesticides on them. But when you go to the GMO list, it's like the most GMO food. Like it's hard to find non-GMO pineapple. And so then you're just sitting there like, well, how do I even buy food? Because apparently if it's not organic, it's GMO. You know, it's just, there's no way to win. So it did make me realize how important it is to have your own garden and to have control of all of that. And it's not the easiest here. We live in Arizona, and having a garden here is like, so it's a chore. It's a humongous chore. And it's hard to get it watered properly, and there's lots of bugs, and the sun is hot, hot, hot in summer, so it's like almost impossible to garden in summer. It seems to be very, very worth it. The problem with a lot of the GMO foods is like corn, for instance, is generally a genetically modified food. And you don't realize how much corn is in everything. Like if you're using cornstarch or cornmeal when you're making pizza, or corn tortillas, or just anything like that, you're probably ingesting GMO corn. So it makes the idea of making everything from scratch just like so important. Like making your own bread, having very simple foods that you know you're getting from good sources. That goes for a lot of flour and sugars, and you basically can't have sugar because most of it is made from a genetically modified sugar cane or sugar beet or whatever it is. So it has to be organic cane sugar, and even then it could be GMO, I guess. So they suggest, coconut sugars because those are some of the safest sugars, maple syrup, honey, but organic honey. It's so particular. You have to be so particular because our food is messed with so much, especially in America. I can tell you my husband's French, and we went to France for like 2 weeks, 5 years ago. And we were there. I was really, really, really worried because I do not like baked goods in America. I avoided bread, didn't like it. I usually avoided milk because milk always made me sick. Not that I had like lactose intolerance or anything. It was just, I always had an upset stomach eating either of those things. And so when we were going to France, it's like, oh yes, there's so much cheese and there are so many baked goods and you have to try everything. I was like, oh man, like I guess I'll do it, but I'm gonna feel really crappy at the end of these 2 weeks. And we went over there, I ate everything, every sweet treat, every patisserie, we went to every boulangerie that we passed and got every bread product ever and a billion sandwiches and pizza. We ate a lot of food, and I lost 5 pounds over those 2 weeks, and I got to eat everything that I wanted. And it was amazing. It changed my life. And so coming back to America has been so frustrating because I want to eat all of those good foods. But even if you find a baker here that makes it, they're not making it with the same flour or the same sugar or whatever. And so it's just not the same experience. And it's really frustrating. And it means that you have to do a lot more work at home to make your food really healthy. So mostly that has been my big takeaway from the food conversation. Beyond that, they go into canned foods and how a lot of canned foods are not safe because of the layers of the can and what's mixing with the food in the can. And they did give one company that does canned foods that their stuff is actually trustworthy, and how they can it is trustworthy, and it's called Eden Foods. They have tons of canned beans and stuff. I always want to have food storage that I can pull from, so I'm not doing everything from scratch all the time. And so it's nice knowing that their products, you can trust them, they're safer, and you can use their canned products and it's not going to be hurting your kids, hurting you. And beyond that, just being far more careful with the snacks that you're buying. We go to Costco a lot, and pretty much every snack will say some form of organic or non-GMO on it. And the more you get into it and you see, natural flavors or this or that, and that could mean anything, and you can't trust it. It's crazy how many things are added to your food and you just don't even know what it is because they're not required to report it. It's part of this long list of things that could be any number of 4,000 ingredients. But I always thought, oh, it says organic on the package, so it's probably good, or just anything like that. It's so frustrating. So really it is like, make your food yourself, make your snacks yourself. Like, and they do have a list of products that you can get on the Branch Basics website where it talks about, you know, you can still have chocolate. Here's some good chocolate places you can get chocolate from. You can still have this, or you can make your own chocolate, or, you know, just any number of things that you can do to buy snacks. There are companies that sell healthy snacks, and these are the ones that you can kind of go to. Or like the specific thing that that company makes, you can have that one because that one they've been careful about. But you can't just trust the companies in general. You have to really be aware of how it's being made. So yeah, if there is anything over the course of doing this toxins course has taught me, it's just that you have to be hyper aware of your surroundings, of the things that you're eating, of everything that you're putting into your house, and you can't just let the world tell you that it's going to be healthy, because it might, even if they tell you it is in so many words that, you know, it's organic or it's this, like, it may have another problem going on with it that is just, you didn't even know was a problem, and now you know. So my goals are take my garden more seriously so that we can actually have food that I know is organic and non-GMO that we're eating. Purchase canned foods from a good source as I go through what's in my pantry, because I can't just throw everything out. And then look into actually making foods regularly at home that I know I can trust. So bread, we've stuck with raw milk. Actually, funny story about the raw milk. We had been getting raw milk from a farmer here where we live. We'd been doing it for a while. I think raw milk is delicious. And something happened and they couldn't sell the raw milk for like a certain period of time. And so I was like, okay, it's okay. We'll just get like the organic whole milk from the store and it'll be fine. It's not going to be a big deal. It had been a long time since we'd had it, so I didn't know for sure, but I just assumed like it's organic. It's probably going to be fine. And my husband got it, brought it home. The next morning I made the same thing I always make with my milk. And for the next like hour, I was burping and I had gas and I had a stomach ache. And that was the only thing I had changed that I had been eating for forever. And I just felt disgusting. It was just gross. And so we like immediately switched back to raw milk and I was fine again. But it's just things like that where it's like, okay, I knew I had switched to raw milk for a reason because I actually drank it. Like I would go and get a glass of milk from the fridge, which I had never done like growing up, because it was in my brain, it was not that it was disgusting, like the milk tasted fine, but like I just didn't like it. And so going back to milk and even trying to just keep it organic and not raw, it was just not right. It wasn't enough. So I had to make the change. So there are things like that. Make my own dairy products from raw milk, because that's apparently all my body can handle. And make bread with good flours that are healthy and heritage and whatever else. And we have chickens, so I can get my eggs from there, work on the garden, and just like if I'm making snacks or if I need snacks, I need to be making them with whole ingredients that I can trust. So anyway, that's the end of that. I hope maybe you've learned something. Go watch the Toss the Toxins course. There's so much to it that I can't even get to on these videos. I don't know the science and all that jazz, but it has made me recognize that things have to change. So go watch it. Seriously, it might stress you out. Take it a step at a time, but it's worth it. It's worth it in the end, I promise. We're feeling so much better, and it's only been, you know, a month of trying to change these things. So try it, see what happens, and I'll see you guys in my future videos.